Tonight at 10, the Prime Minister says there is more the government can do to help with the rising cost of living, but he rules out a windfall tax on energy companies. BP has announced a sharp rise in profits for the first 3 months of this year. They've doubled since last year. But as their profits rise, so too do prices and energy bills for millions of people, piling the pressure on the government to do more to help.
I'm not going to pretend that every family is going to have a magic solution from the government overnight. I simply can't pretend that we can do that, but we can be as ingenious and as compassionate as possible.
Also on the programme tonight, rescued at last after more than 60 days trapped underground in Ukraine. More than 100 civilians, including children, who've been living for weeks in desperate conditions beneath a steelworks in the besieged city of Mariupol, finally reach safety. Protests in the United States after a leaked document suggests the Supreme Court is about to overturn a law protecting the right to abortion. A race to the polls as people across the UK prepare to vote in local elections on Thursday. A special report from Northern Ireland where the results could bring seismic change.
And coming up in the News Channel, after 2 years out of the Premier League, Bournemouth are back following a 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest.
Good evening from Belfast. The Prime Minister has hinted he may be prepared to do more to address the rising cost of living. But he has dismissed fresh calls from opposition parties for a windfall tax on energy companies. Boris Johnson says the government will use what he called the ingenuity and compassion shown during the COVID pandemic to try to help people cope with rising costs. But he warned there was no magic solution. It comes as BP announced it made almost £5 billion in underlying profits for the first quarter of the year, more than double the figure for the same period last year. Rising prices and energy bills are expected to be a big issue in the elections across the UK this week, including here in Northern Ireland, where the outcome of the vote could have major consequences for the UK. We'll have more on that later. But first, here's our business editor, Simon Jack.